GATE CSE 2020. Consider the Boolean function z of a comma b comma c. So here z is the output variable, which is the function of three input variables, namely a, b, and c. Which one of the following Minterm lists represent the given circuit above? So there is a logic diagram shown here, which has three inputs and one output. There are four options given. We need to identify the Minterm which rightly represents the given logic diagram. To solve this problem, first let us consider what is meant by a Minterm. A Minterm is the one which, if I apply as input for a circuit, it is going to make my output as 1. So for example, if I say when I apply 0, 0 and 1, for instance, 0, 0, 1. So this 0 and here it is 0 becomes 1. This 1, 1 becomes 1 output of the AND gate. So finally my Z output goes 1. Now for this circuit diagram, I can say that 0, 0, 1 combination makes the output as 1. So this, in terms of decimal, if we write, it is going to be 1. So 1 is the Minterm which produces the output as 1. Like that, we need to identify all possible input combinations which produces the output as 1. So the solution is quite simple. What we do, we list all possible input combinations because only three input variables. We just have three columns for the input variables and one column for the output variable. We have added one more column just to identify its decimal value because Minterms are normally represented in decimal form. So we are going to have one extra column to represent its decimal value. Now let us look at the diagram here. According to the given diagram, for an OR gate, when one of the inputs is high, for example, whenever A input is high, then definitely our Z input is going to be high because it is an OR gate, right? For an OR gate, when one of the inputs is high, output is going to be high. Keeping this fact, consider these inputs, like whenever A input is high, Z will be high because this input has A input as 1. In the same way, let us consider the combinations which produces output as 1 because whenever A input is 1, output is going to be 1. Now let us take the other option. Suppose A is going to be 0. When A is going to be 0, then what may be the possibility? The other input must be 1. When this other input will be 1? Because it is an AND gate, only when both the inputs are high, output will be high. When this will be high? Because when we make C input as high, this input will be high. And coming to the other input, B input, only when we make B input as 0, its complemented value will become 1. Right? So the combination here, the one more combination here is that when A input is 0, B must be 0 and C must be 1. This combination also produces 1. The rest of the combinations will produce output as 0. So we can say that these are the possible input combination which produces output as 1. Now representing the same thing in the form of decimal. So here 001 means in terms of decimal it is 1. 100 means it is equivalent to 4. And the next one 101 equals 5. 110 equals 6. And the next option 111 represents 7. So consider the input combinations and represent it in the form of decimal. Now, if you compare the given set of options, there are 4 options given: 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, 1, 3, 7. Among these 4 combinations, option B rightly represents the given logic diagram. Thank you.